Alrighty, hello, good afternoon, good evening, every other time in between. Let's just hop into Civilization, just gonna relax. Now I do have to tell everybody who sees a few things that might be a little bit different. I forgot to save at the end of the last stream, so I had to replay back up to turn 400, and unfortunately, I did it twice, so I had to do this I had to do this twice, but I think I got everything back in the order that we were wanting to go with. I am going... Actually, we're just going to redo the entire technology thing, so I'm not sure if I did it right or not. So we're going to stick with natural pigments, go with cooking. I think sharpening would be a good idea, just so we can have a little bit of better items. You know what's better than a club? A spike club. Just wait a second. What's this? I hope everything sounds alright. Let's see. Work on our way to trap fishing, counting, chopping. How you doing, Twit? You enjoying Rebirth? How far in did you get so far? I've managed to finish it. At least the main story. If you do all the side quests, that game is ridiculously long. I think we're going to make our way to simple woodworking. After that, we'll go with skinning, poison crafting, drying, tracking. Petroglyphs, adhesive, bone working, and flint napping. And after we get flint napping, we'll take a good look and see what we're doing. We'll either go for spear making, composite tools. Actually, I think we'll just make a beeline for spear making, which should give us rafting afterwards. Personal or dormants. Axe making. So after we pick up axe making, we'll then switch around and see what we have going on for the second half of the tech tree. I will tell you, don't do what I did and like beeline the quest line, because you're gonna run into a wall. You'll see it. Alrighty. Now we're just gonna speed through some turns and get our stuff built. I hate that we lost out on the elephants, but that's what happens when you forget to save.
The greatest masterpieces were once only pigments on a palette.
Okay, we're working on our vision quest. I think we're doing quite okay with what we got. Cooking will give us a nice little health bonus, which we definitely need. We're about to be a city level 2. Give us a clear population growth. And we have finally got basically our first major cultural choice. Basically, this is just what defines our civilization. Now, unlike in the base game Caveman to Cosmos, we're just a empty slate. So this is going to be how we get our cultural bonuses. Like, basically, what our culture does good in comparison to other different cultures. Like, we can only choose so many of these. And being the situation that we are on an island and we're surrounded, seafaring is a natural choice. It does come with the offshoot of +1 on unhealthy, and in the largest cities it does make people mad. But when we have access to sea lions, it counteracts it. So if we find sea lions, actually sea lions, seals, walruses, clams, basically anything that's a water resource makes it better. But what makes it really strong is water tiles are just +1 on a hammer, so more production. We also get a lot more from a Great Admiral when it comes to getting more food income coming in. All cities get a -1 to any of the virtual farm, basically the vertical farms. So we're not going to do as good right off the bat, but that'll be okay. And we have a better chance of a Great Admiral, and we have probably the strongest thing early on is a +1 to our cargo space across all vehicle, basically all aquatic vehicles. Basically your ships, your transports, all of that will have a +1 to their cargo space if they have it. And we have a free amphibious assault promotion to anything, so everything becomes automatically amphibious for mounted, melee, throwing, you name it. So it just makes us a lot better. Water units also get a +2 on experience when it's constructed. And we can offshoot basically the negative bonuses from this by picking up agriculture the next time that we get it. Because right now, agriculture doesn't really do much to anything because we don't have agriculture. How can I benefit my farms when I don't know how to build a farm yet? Let's see. It's mostly just going through the paces right now. Eventually we'll get rid of this jungle tile that happens to be where our capital is whenever it grows to a level 3. And that is all of our units. Now comes the question of, do we want to try to build some hunter units? And then a storyteller. Or do we want to build the storyteller first? We'll do that. Put them there so I can actually click on the city. And then a couple of gatherers, just so we can get a couple more tiles improved.
So long as you have food in your mouth, you have solved all questions for the time being.
And we just have a general +1 whenever we have cooking to everything that's health related. And actually, something that's pretty unique to people, well, we now have access to our other dances, so we want our fertility dance to help our population. So we're going to increase this real quick. The sausage house. So now, modern people have evolved in a certain way that we become dependent on cooking. We're unable to process raw meat to the same function that our earlier relatives were able to do. Despite what the caveman diet goes and tells you to do, you know, start eating raw food. Don't start eating raw meat. There is only a very few raw meat that you can actually eat without having it properly prepared. You can get very sick. Now send our chasers out to start hunting. They're essentially a guy with a rock, so hopefully they'll be able to take down a proto-rhino. That sounds feasible. Totally, doesn't it? But hey, we got ourselves a cobra. So we can take the folklore of the cobra. Let's see. We're mostly in nothing but jungle, so taking a bonus to jungle would be very nice. And we have some birds flying around, some seagulls. Don't eat the raw chicken, Twit. Don't eat the raw chicken, please. I mean, the worst thing you can eat raw is pork.
Awaiting your orders. Reporting.
Our chasers can start capturing animals. I think our chasers will be fine to deal with pretty much anything that's not a tagger. Taggers are still definitely something to worry about, and another level up in the forest. And we're going to grow to a city size 2. There we are. A little bigger. Yeah, we're coming up in the world. Let's see what the city is actually picking up. That's not bad. Either one of those isn't actually. That's right, beat up those pythons. Now we found another Bengal tiger. Let's hope that he doesn't, like, eat my guy. I think I mentioned it the last time, but I just enjoy the music in the prehistoric era. It really conveys that kind of awe and mystery of a time forgotten by history. Things yet to come. Soft hammer production. Cushion. And he got eaten by a bear.
The workers in stone are not copper or steel tools, but the gentle touches of air and water, working at their leisure with a liberal allowance of time.
This will increase our production. That was our upgraded guy, too. Another improvement there, and then another one over here, and put a nice little trail if it hasn't already been. I think this all has trails. Got wheat. Movement +3, so I believe this has a... yeah, it does have a trail. Our road systems will become better over time. And he took out the tagger. This guy's a boss. This guy is definitely the great grandfather of the bearded twit himself. Fighting taggers with his bare hands. It's the beard twit. That's what it is. Now we're gonna do the blood dance. That will... we're not really going to war with anybody because we don't... I mean, Wilson has floated away a long time now. Surprisingly, we're not the wealthiest civilization. We are the second set. We are the second most. Well, blah. English, how does it work? We are the second most wealthy civilization. Well said! God, no, come back! Well said! We'll have the rain dance that just makes everybody happier. A little bit more food. And we've got the folklore of the sun bear now. It's time for a war dance. Just makes our units produce a lot quicker. And that horse took out that guy. Definitely need one more storyteller. Oh.
Yes?
A nature dance.
Yes?
Definitely proto-bearded twit here. Killed a tiger with his bare hands, then he killed a mule. And he gave us a great hunter. Rebecca Lee. Now, a good thing about a great hunter is we can finally get ourselves a... join the city as a great hunter, which would be very beneficial to us right now with a +5 on the food. It can upgrade to a master chaser, which is kind of okay right now. Or the most beneficial is the military standard mascot for hunters, which just basically every single city will have a free animal mascot. Which just benefits everything. So we're investing for the long haul. Now we can build the folklore of the horse. That's going to be super beneficial to us. And now we have the moon dance, just some more cultural and espionage. Espionage isn't really going to do much of any good for us right now, but it's nice to have a little bit of it passively growing in the background.
Let your sharp arrows pierce the hearts of the king's enemies. Let the nations fall beneath your feet.
Let's see. Our border is about to expand, so we might get some new nice resources.
Yes?
Over here and build up this stone. Very nice. A lot more water resources. Looks like there's some more coastline up here that we can see now. See how close we are to getting a raft. 22 more turns, so it's still a while off. But sharpening, we're going to be able to get a spiked clubman, which that'll be very beneficial. Fighting taggers and bears with his bare hands. Oh, man, that guy's going crazy. We now build a butchery.
Your orders. What's the plan? At your service.
Two subdued sun bears. And a sloth bear. I'm gonna make one of these part of our cultural identity and have the other one fight people. A happy city is a productive city. And we lost one of our guys to a viper. A beastly viper, in particularly. That sounds lovely. So beastly units are just upgraded certain types of wild units. They're more dangerous. We might get attacked by a barbarous duck, for example. Oh, we actually have the obsidian available to us. I don't think it's actually in range of the city yet. No, I think this is the actual limit of what this city can work, so it's not actually quite in the best location. So another city, maybe right here, would gather some of that stuff. We'll see. Should be able to work 3 of them, so I don't know why that one's not. Maybe it's just because of the size of the city itself. It's been a little while since I've played early Civilization. Now we can build a child labor crew, so more production. We gotta set the youngins to work. Alrighty, now we're just going to convert everything to wealth, or we could do culture. I think having everything convert to wealth right now, just minor wealth. We're on a lush island, so lush attack up would be good.
What do you need?
Our hunter's doing good. Fought off the crazy orangutans.
If the only tool you have is a hammer, you tend to see every problem as a nail.
Now we can upgrade to spiked clubmen, which are very nice.
Present and accounted for. Tell me what to do.
Nothing like getting smacked in the face with a spiked club. Though honestly, we don't really need the heavy-duty military units right now, simply because there is no Neanderthals, or really any rivals on this island. Which is quite nice. Now, Neanderthals could still spawn, or better yet, later on, whenever they start getting like the ability to make boats, they can start coming over here. And we know that Neanderthals were able to build boats because we know for a fact that they managed to get to like Cyprus, Sardinia, Corsica, Crete, which even though the Mediterranean was lower, they still would have required a boat to actually get over to them. Now we got a flint gatherer, we can make a monument, stone workers, a quarry, quarren. We're gonna build a monument to the bearded twit. The legend of the Great Beard. I will add the ball python to our cultural heritage. Now we have our Monument of Doom. Got ourselves a crow. So the folklore of the crow. If anybody knows the TV show The Crow, you're awesome. I'm gonna take another lush attack. Another viper.
With fingers weary and worn, with eyelids heavy and red, a woman sat in unwomanly rags, plying her needle and thread. Stitch, stitch, stitch.
So The Crow was a TV show from like, I think it started in the early 80s, but it was in the 90s in the States, but it had Bruce Lee's son. Oh, we can build Neanderthal culture. How? We won't be able to build any criminal units, but we'll be able to have Neanderthal units, which just basically gives us a stronger variant of the unit. It's a world wonder. We'll take a Neanderthal culture. Just a opportunity to have something stronger. Actually, no, I want my criminal units in case I need them. Never know, might get a spawn on the island. Twit, you're always awesome, no matter what. You get just the awesome pass. What do we want? Let's just go with some more. Soon get trap fishing, so we'll be able to see fish soon. Largest civilizations in the world. We're not the largest. So either somebody has managed to get another ban of Homo sapiens, so they have 2 cities, that, or they just have more culturally expanded area. Which I'm surprised that we're even as high as we were on that list, being that we're on an island. Being trapped on an island is usually not the best thing early on, but we have a big enough island. Somebody redeemed save the game. There we go. I saved the game. We will not forget this time. got an upgrade to our healthcare unit, one of them leveled up. Some seed camps. Some more gatherers would just be nice. Send them up here. Looks like we got a trail over here and here. Yeah, there is a trail there. So we just need one over here. Almost have trap fishing, so we're getting there.
Ready for action.
Time is but the stream I go fishing in. I drink at it, but while I drink, I see the sandy bottom and detect how shallow it is. Its thin current slides away, but eternity remains.
Now we have the ability to see fish. And we're going to take fish traps. So we have crab and a lot of fish around us, so that's very good. Some crab here, looks like some lobsters. Freshwater lobster, freshwater crab, yum yum. Freshwater fish. Some crabs and lobsters there in the bay. Some more lobsters, some fish. So we have a very bountiful freshwater region that we're in. So we're going to get a lot of our main food source from the fish. So I hope you all like seafood. Gonna build this wheat. And we did grow our borders. I think we're gonna increase our research budget a little bit. Now we can get ourselves some crab nets and some eel nets. Increase our population growth. And when we get actual boats, we'll be able to send out fishing vessels to go and improve these resources. Which will be very beneficial because that will get us a lot of food real quick. Fish is one of the, basically it's a 7 food increase. So is the crab. Compared to the 5 that we would be getting out of the wheat right now. Definitely gonna get us a lot more.
number rules the universe.
Ah yes, the universal law of math. Math doesn't lie unless you have the wrong math. Improving our lands, getting it all nice and working.
Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe.
We can now start getting a lot more of our improvements up and running quicker. Unfortunately, I don't see any clams around us, which clams give us pearls. Which is basically just as good as gold and silver, which I didn't notice that it popped up, but we do have a vein of silver down here in our southern part of the island, and it looks like we also have a source of gold. So 3 sources of silver, along with a source of gold, and what's this? More obsidian. And we got tin and a source of copper. Wait, is this jade? Oh yeah, it is. So we got a nice source of jade around us as well. So we got a good little bit of mineral wealth. And what's really important for us having copper and tin on our island is we have everything we need to enter the Bronze Age without any issue. Because all that bronze is just tin and copper combined. I don't remember the exact ratio of how much tin per copper that you have. But it's nothing like really ridiculous. And we can get some more lush. This one will give us marsh land and defense on marsh. I think we're going to take the forest and bamboo improvement on this guy. Very nice. 90 some more turns, 92 more turns, and we will have a level 3 city. Meaning we'll no longer have the city itself be in jungle.
The preparation of animal hides by traditional populations in
Scraping.
Ethiopia, Alaska, and Canada today show that it can take 8 hours to scrape a single hide.
Working on bone working now. 16 more turns. We're going to be on early, simple woodworking really soon. It won't be until fishing when we actually will be able to improve the fish resources. So we might want to make a beeline for it after we actually get rafts. But rafts will make it so we can actually work on our coastlines and rivers. And being that this is particularly freshwater, and where you have nothing but freshwater coast, very beneficial. Great Hunter was born elsewhere. We just passed 60,000 BC. So we're at a point where migration out of Africa was pretty prominent. So humans had pretty much reached India at this time. Started moving into Europe. And the very southern tips of Africa have also been. But not Madagascar. Madagascar is one of the last areas to actually have people go to. We now have the orangutan as part of our culture.
The oldest known sandals, and the oldest known footwear of any type, were discovered in Fort Rock Cave in the U.S. state of Oregon. Radiocarbon dating of the sagebrush bark from which they were woven indicates an age of at least 10,000 years.
And that quote was significantly louder than everything else. So we're keeping up with our production now. Another python for our culture.
Ready for action. At your service.
Go down here and
Tell me what to do. What's the plan?
leave them. I'm just curious to see if we're in a very large freshwater sea or if this is really just the limits of it. I mean, this is still large. But if this turns out to be like another island, which I'm thinking that it's probably the mainland, just looking at it, looks a lot bigger. And it does look like it's actually curving around this way.
The past is prophetic, in that it asserts loudly that wars are poor chisels for carving out peaceful tomorrows.
Martin Luther King. Simple woodworking on our way now. Just fighting sun bears in the jungle. You know, a typical, very typical early Sunday. Try to capture more animals. And we also have some silk on this island.
Measure twice. Cut once.
Yep. So we got ourselves wooden spearmen. We can make a lot more buildings, build our first fortification around us. Snake charmers. And finally we can get ourselves our first proper wonder, which is a +1 to all populations in all cities that we have right now, which is just our capital. And we want to go into the bug options and make sure that the automations are still turned off for any forced building fortresses, because I don't want any forts. Stone watchtower, fortified cave. For some reason, if you leave this on basically auto to go and improve the areas around us, if you do that, the AI will just fortify everything. Most cultured. We're now the most cultured civilization. Doesn't mean much, but we are people of culture. So we're now officially past 50,000 BC, so people have made it to Asia at this point. Most likely the first Aboriginals to enter into Australia have come across. We also have first evidence of people reaching into the northern areas of Europe, which is covered by the Ice Age. The Ice Age is starting to take heavy effect right now. And I believe this is probably the first time people entered from Doggerland into the United Kingdom proper, but not over into Ireland yet. But with the Ice Age in full swing, the whole area of Dogger Bank is fully exposed. And we know just from scanning and mapping the area of Dogger Bank, there were lots of riverbanks. Very fertile area. And was most likely, if it wouldn't have flooded, it would have probably, actually not a probably, it would have most definitely, due to the population density of the area, became a cradle of civilization very similar to Mesopotamia. So it would have been another one.
There are more ways of skinning a cat than rubbing its fur the wrong way.
Oh, we got a macasse. Make a folklore about that. We'll add a skinner. Build up more wealth. Jungle tarantula folklore. Poison crafting will be pretty big, because we can have now a poison bonus to basically all of our units. Achievement. Huh.
The venom clamors of a jealous woman, poison more deadly than a mad dog's tooth.
Shakespeare. But now we have poison crafting. And this is where we're really going to have a nice and powerful start, because we're in a jungle. And there's some nasty things in a jungle. Nasty poisons. So I like to imagine that there's now groups of people running around, like licking different plants to see if they die or not. Now we're actually going to get a another expansion on our population due to, unless somebody builds this wonder before we do. For free right after we get our level 3 improvement. Well, this confirms that we are in a big freshwater sea, because this is definitely the mainland if you take a look at how it curves up. Most likely it either goes this way, but judging from the little bit that we can see of the waves right there, most likely curves around this way. And it probably follows the same path on this side, because I can see just a little itty bitty bit over here.
Food is to eat, not to frame and hang on the wall.
Now we're starting to pick up technology fairly quickly.
Yesterday's home runs don't win today's games.
We now have games, and we're gonna have to like reorganize our entire build thing just to make sure. Gonna look at what gives us production first, and then food, and then basically everything else. There's a river here, so this is probably pretty thick. But for the sheer volume of water, there's probably multiple rivers. I mean, we have quite a few rivers coming off of this island alone. Caveman the Cosmos is pretty good at building realistic environmental systems, where we would have different climate zones. So it'll be interesting to see what's around us, terrain-wise. We're just happy sitting on our island, beating rocks against one another. We're getting close to having our first wonder, the Venus idol.
If you chase two rabbits, you will lose them both.
Now we have tracking. We can get ourselves a tracker. see the big picture because we can also get ourselves a new economy, which is supplement. Subsidize, so we're just basically everybody gets a little bit of something. We're taking care of our people. It's nothing too major. Doesn't even cause us to go through a revolution yet. So we're still ruled by basically an alpha male and an alpha female. The whole concept of different chiefs and stuff like that ain't really a thing yet. Still the role of basically who's the strongest. And we got the Venus idol, so very nice. So we got a free Part 4 population, so we're really doing quite good for ourselves now. And I like this setup. We're gonna actually put this one over here. Just to increase, even without the improvement, we're already getting more just from the sea, food-wise.
Ready for action. Awaiting
we
your
go.
orders. Reporting for duty. All present and accounted for. At your service. Awaiting your orders.
Have them skip a turn. Upgrade them to a tracker.
What's the plan?
And now we have a better hunter.
Your orders.
The venerable woods, rivers that move in majesty, and the complaining brooks that make the meadows green, and poured round all, old ocean's grey and melancholy waste, are but the solemn decorations all of the great tomb of man.
Now, since we're on a coastline, we actually have some nice beneficial natural wonders. We can get sand painting. Thinking this one here will do better. Adhesives. Give him the hunter promotion. A lot more beneficial. We're making a good bit of progress right now. already done the snake pit. Vulture.
I was reading a book, The History of Glue. I couldn't put it down.
Getting bone working. Very close to raft making now. We're about to enter the Stone Age proper. So basically the eras of man basically are going the time of emergence, which is basically the very early game. That's the time that represents is basically when humans just first arrive. I keep saying basically. Following that would be the Age of Wood. Basically, everything's just... most technology is just around wood manipulation. Then you have the Stone Age that would follow it. And the Stone Age lasts for a very long time, up until the Copper Age begins. Now you could break it up into like the Tool Age and stuff like that. I think Age of Empires actually does that in particular. But we're about to enter the full-on Stone Age. Now we're going to just start concentrating on getting our culture to expand even further and make our city more happy. Luckily, it seems like we primarily only have birds to deal with out on the water itself. So having a relatively...
Why I work bone to make bone work for me.
basically, this is just going to give us a nice area to have our naval units. Be nice and safe. Don't have to worry about getting eaten by sharks. Now we can do a Master Hunter reward. Which will be good when we build a lot of our hunting units. flint napping.
Weariness can snore upon the flint, when resty sloth finds the down pillow hard.
Poison crafters. And we are the most advanced civilization, so we're pretty good for right now. About to get composite tools, putting us officially into the Stone Age.
The Diabolic had to be made ready for use on a stream, and cast from the fork of the toes. He entered a man's body with a single wound, like a javelin, and opened into 30 valves. Only by cutting away the flesh could it be taken from that man's body.
What's the plan?
So now we have stone macemen. So basically we're now using clubs with big pieces of rock on the end of them. Highly advanced technology. It's a little more complex than that though, because you have to like tie it, you gotta bind it, you gotta use some sort of adhesive to keep everything together for long-term use.
Reporting for duty.
And we're really not getting any sort of Neanderthals or anything spawning in, so we're just gonna actually get rid of our stone macemen. They're just taking up resources that can be spent elsewhere. Mostly just gathering money. We're slowly catching up on our buildings. Don't really need that python. build a storyteller and see if there's any new dances.
It is easy to dodge a spear that comes in front of you, but hard to keep harms away from an arrow shot from behind.
So now we're getting to the point where we can actually start making much thinner edged blades out of stone and rock. A lot more out of flint. Which this is going to lead us to stone, basically to spear making, which will give us stone spears. We're doing quite nice. Already do the feather hunters. Good, we got a meal. Build a folklore about the donkey. We can now have the luxury resource of feathers. Some more taggers are spawning in. I think we actually subdued... yeah, we did. Let's go. We can make a myth of the tagger. And particularly the Bengal tagger.
A well-aimed spear is worth 3.
We now have stone spearmen. So the stone spear is absolutely a game changer in human advancement in general. We now have the capability of much further reach. It won't break as easy as what you would see with, for example, just a normal wooden spear to start out with. You're capable of now piercing things that are a lot more thick. And this is around the first time that we start seeing not the evidence of scavenge on a lot of the megafauna, but we're actually starting to take down megafauna proper. So, mammoths are being hunted, elephants are being hunted now. For us on our little island, not a lot of benefit, but now that we're working on raft building, that's going to change. We're going to be able to get an actual look at the entirety of the sea around us. Take a look at the coastline, see its full extent. Looks like I can just do a entertain in the city. Little culture bomb. Almost got ourselves our rafts. Got our megalith workshops. Not megalith, but little scrabbing. We can make little piercing things. And we're about to have a major advancement in our game.
It's lovely to live on a raft. We had the sky out there, all speckled with stars, and we used to lay on our backs and look up at them, and discuss about whether they was made, or only just happened.
Mark Twain. We are going to just produce quite a few rafts and have them move about for us. We now have a raft. Have it go hunt. I think we actually need that many rafts. Just a few will do right now. Taking down seagulls. Gonna have this one go over here and just go down the coastline. Along with the next one that builds. Good on that. Got something nice over there, actually. Gonna build one more raft with. Scout and a tracker. Got some wolves. This whole area counts as coastal, so coastal damage would be very nice. I'm just gonna auto hunt. Experience. What is there? Cargo space 1, plus we have the +1, so that's cargo space 2. I wish it would actually say how much of a cargo space we had.
Ready for action.
So we'll go with the scout that can. Looks like there's a lot of forests up here, so
Yes.
go with the hunt. We'll load this guy up. And we'll move the party up there. Drop them on the land and start exploring the mainland, because this is definitely mainland. Got multiple rivers. Looks like some mountains. Got some bananas. We should probably move this tracker over to the mainland. But he's keeping the wild, dangerous wildlife on the island down. Let's see. Take a seagull legend. Take a look down this way. Try to look for the best spot to drop these guys.
Oh, present and accounted
There we go. A chaser. It won't be as good, but we'll let him stay around and hunt. They'll go back over. Looks like a big stack of wolves spawned on the rabbits there. I think we'll take about 4 scouts and kind of move them around. Withdrawal chance. Just explore. And you go hunt. Let's see. We've passed 40,000 BC.
At your service. All present and accounted for. All present and accounted for.
Send them over this way. Actually, we'll drop them over here.
Humanity can be roughly divided into 3 sorts of people. Those who find comfort in literature, those who find comfort in personal adornment, and those who find comfort in food.
Don't need the tarantula. Don't need this unit. We'll skip that. We're starting to get a lot more units around. Got a river here, another Bengal tiger, some more goody huts. With the goody huts that are left, it's either the things that have been on top of them are too much for whatever happens to be around us, AI-wise, or the AI just isn't near us. We definitely have some interesting things.
Tell me what to
I'll
do.
actually send these 2 over here. The folklore of the wolf definitely helped the city. Some more coastal damage and just head right on down this way. Get a nice look at the coastline. We're definitely on a really big inland sea of fresh water. We don't really need need that. We were just attacked by a blue-footed booby.
Tell me what to do.
Send them there.
Tell me what to do.
Send them there, and go meet up with the people. These guys can go explore.
Ready for action.
Explore automated. A wolf. The orangutan. Benefit the people's happiness, and oh, we have ran into another civilization. The Assyrians are around us somewhere. They got a scout. Continue exploring the coastline. Here. Interesting. So this one square right here, on the other side, that is regular coastline, salt water. So this might turn all in. Same thing up here. So we have a very thin connection that could still collapse. But if this stays, right here would be an excellent spot for a city. And so would be right here, because any naval units that we build here, basically later on, whenever we have fleets, we can send them out into the greater ocean. And also move units from one side of this. Might be the continent, it might be something else. Don't know. But this could be very good for our trade. Coastal and go on the automated hunt. And we're just gonna drop these guys down here on these rabbits. We almost have this all explored. Looks like we're gonna have to definitely come down here. hunt. You go hunt. So we've explored the entire coastline. We now see our entire watery realm. Very nice. Very, very nice. This is just regular coastline, and I can't really tell, but that looks like it's tropical coast. We got ourselves a gatherer. We're not really going to be able to use her over here. Not much more we can do right now.
On the motionless branches of some trees, autumn berries hung like clusters of coral beads, as in those fabled orchards where the fruits were jewels.
I'm gonna drop this other one down here, and you will just explore. So now we got a nice new hunting area, the ocean, well, not the ocean, but the our freshwater sea. Some regular trees. Interesting. Let's actually build a couple of scouts and a couple of trackers, and we're going to send them down to basically get picked up down here and dropped off.
As is the garden, such is the gardener.
So they get dropped in different areas. Got a wanderer. Let's have them come down over here and we'll transport them down so we can upgrade them. They'll go hunting.
What's the
You can go explore. So now we got some more exploration going on. We'll kind of head down. See a little bit more than what's around the coastline. Let's take a look. Got mountains up here, very thick mountains. Looks like we got more mountains here. Interesting.
Yes? Tell me what to do.
I'll have you come over here. We'll wait for you. You come up here. We'll have you come back up as well. Might as well upgrade that chaser.
What do you need?
We'll drop them. Next turn. Draw chance, we definitely want our scouts to stay alive. Our nice little island existence.
Present and accounted for.
And we got a chaser.
Tell me what to do.
We go that way. Have you.
Ready for action.
Oh no, go this way, I guess.
What's the plan? Tell me what to do. Your orders.
Go up here.
Reporting for duty. Yes?
Bring them both down this way. Upgrade them to a tracker. Have you start exploring.
Awaiting your orders. What's the plan? Present and accounted for.
Both of them go hunting. You can go back across the water.
What do you need?
Have our scout keep exploring. This is an interesting mountain range.
Tell me what to do. Awaiting your orders.
Next turn they'll be able to upgrade.
Ready for action.
Upgrade them, and could use another tracker or another scout. Let's say another tracker. Just having some more hunting available to us is available. We'll drop this guy over here.
Your orders. Your orders.
We'll drop them both here. And we'll drop the next set of trackers over here so we got more hunting. And I noticed we no longer count as a minor civ. That or we do, and it just doesn't say.
The first theft marked Buck as fit to survive in the hostile Northland environment. It marked his adaptability, his capacity to adjust himself to changing conditions, the lack of which would have meant swift and terrible death. It marked further the decay, or going to pieces of his moral nature, a vain thing and a handicap in the ruthless struggle for existence.
Now we could pick up banditry, but we're not going to. Because that's just going to make a more criminal-based society, and I don't really want a bunch of rebels spawning in. Let's set back to hunting. Looks like we got a nice entryway here. A very interesting set of river here. It looks like it carves away through the mountains. Found ourselves another wanderer. So we're gonna put that there. Put this wanderer over here. We've got some aquatic goodie huts up here. Healer's hut, thieves' den, should be fine.
Awaiting your orders.
Actually, Scout, I want you to particularly follow this river. See where it goes.
What do you need?
I'm gonna follow this little journey. Looks like we're out of the lush area down here. Trackers can continue hunting. That's interesting. The river system combines into one here, and then opens into a map. Looks like a desert. Floodplains, wheat.
Present and accounted for. Yes?
Going to give them mud baths. I'm gonna go with another scout. Drop some more explorers down here in the south. Definitely want to scout. And a withdrawal chance, because he's a scout. Myth of the Komodo Dragon. Kind of follow the river. Hunt. We'll wait. Right here looks fine. And you go back to hunting.
Awaiting your orders. What's the plan?
Right now this kind of reminds me of the old Crash Bandicoot theme. I'm just gonna follow this river. Jaguar. A lot of nasty stuff over there.
What's the plan?
Scrubbling on the hills. Myth of the iguana. Now that we got a lot more going on, there's starting to slow down a little. We got a healer. Could send her over. I'm just gonna... Can't really do a lot with the healer over here by herself.
Tell me what to do.
Just gonna keep exploring. Looks like the desert gets a lot thicker into dunes. Don't need the Viper. Go and hunt. Do animal and go back to hunting. So we've got a thick mountain on this side with what looks like a single pass that's actually, until we get mountaineering. It's crazy, that's a nice mountain range. Coming down. Gets even thicker here. Maybe might have Mount Everest somewhere around here. It only spawns in the thick mountain range.
At your service.
Some more mountains here. And judging from just how the shadows look, that's mountain as well. Mountain could open into something else, and then some mountains. Interesting. Nice protected area overall. So if we can take all of this area, basically one thing that we can assure is anybody would have to come with a fleet and capture this position here and capture this position here to get an invading fleet into the area. Or they would have to grab a hold of and then build a navy in our freshwater sea. And then try to launch the invasion that way to get onto our island. So we are very, very fortunate. We're in a very powerful area on how decent we are.
Capital punishment is as fundamentally wrong as a cure for crime, as charity is wrong as a cure for poverty.
Looks like we ran into our first proper barbarian unit down there. Drop our scouts. And send you back to hunt.
Tell me what to do.
Just explore.
Present and accounted for.
Actually, I'm gonna have you particularly follow this river down this way. See, there's a little lake, looks like right there. Might be another freshwater sea, and that's the tip of it, but might be a lake. Send them down there. Picked up and upgraded.
What's the plan?
Send them down that way.
What's the plan?
That's interesting. Send them that way. Follow this coastline. We'll get some coral. Automatic hunt. Interesting. Very interesting. Somewhat of a massively mountainous region.
Present and accounted for.
Make a myth out of that. We'll put them on guard. panthers.
Reporting for duty.
Effectively, the west is explored within the mountainous area. Get a dart frog, a gharial. These guys aren't really needed, and the myth of the panther. All the folklores. Just have them. Hopefully they'll kind of go up that way. We have more
What's the plan?
what I was expecting over here. Nice little coast. Divides it off. Maybe it continues on, but I was thinking it was gonna like curve around.
What do you need?
Interesting. So this waterway opens up.
What do you need?
We'll see about checking around here and see if what this looks like.
What do you need? Awaiting your orders.
Upgrade our police force. That's nice. We can get the myth of the red-tailed fox.
Your orders.
Have the wolves fight criminals. Another scout of the Assyrians.
At your service.
Or it might be the same one from earlier.
At your service.
Follow the coastline down this way. Let's see what's over here. A lot of, some marble, some obsidian, some silver, some gold, obsidian, some jade. Nice little area right here. Another mountain range. And we finally found some Neanderthals. Next turn, that will get.
What's the plan?
Some old Neanderthal as well.
All present and accounted for.
Make another tracker. Just have them skip a turn. Another chaser. Send him to the coast to be picked up. Looks like we found a Russian scout. So we have the Assyrians and the Russians. This goes up.
What do you need?
Pick him up. Get to the Macau. There's a unit still on this. Let's send it down here. Just keep hunting. Just go follow the mountain range. Let's see how this opens up. It's a very interesting area. Up, I see border right there. So this is where the Assyrians are from.
What's the plan?
We're in the middle of a desert. That is interesting.
Ready for action.
I'm gonna take them back over here. Drop them off. But we'll do that next time, as we've played a good bit. It's getting a little on the late side for me. Starting to feel a little tired. We've explored a good little bit. We've got a mountain range over here. And it looks like we've got another little mountain range here. And it looks like another one going up this way. Not sure, this could open up. But realistically, what's going on in here is from the coastline coming this way, storms are funneled into the area and it drops a bunch of rain, causing a bunch of precipitation coming into the area. And the same thing is coming down this way, hitting the mountains and probably forcing it into this area. And then once it's already in here as the lake, well, this is definitely a sea. The freshwater sea, as it evaporates, the moisture pushes up along the mountain range, and then the rain shadow effect comes into. Actually, this is a perfect example of the rain shadow effect. On one side, we've got some very more harsh environment, then we've got lush environment. So the moisture, as it evaporates, comes onto the island rains, creating this very tropical rainforest area. On the island, it comes off, forms into the rivers, comes back down into the water system here. It then rains heavily up on this side, does the same thing, comes down, probably a bunch of little creeks and stuff, connecting into these rivers, connecting into the freshwater sea itself, comes down, does the same thing. And most likely, this little river system here, which also comes down this way, funnels the vast majority of the water coming into the area. Unless there is... yeah, that one goes off this way. So I can already tell that this could be potentially the biggest. This could be potentially another massive river. But right now, it looks like this river right here is the primary, outside like the storms and stuff, but this is the primary river going into the actual freshwater sea. So, depending on how crazy it is over here, all the water in this area eventually ends up in the freshwater sea. All the water in this area eventually ends up in the freshwater sea vis-a this river. So this section of the river is very powerful, very deep, because that's a lot of water moving. Doesn't look like there's any more attachments here. Looks like even more of the desert. Kind of interesting. Maybe this opens up. We'll have to see. But we have finally ran into one of our first major rivals. And we are definitely going to make sure that we save. So if you liked what you saw, please come give us a like and subscribe over on YouTube. And if you liked what you saw over here on Twitch, give us a follow. And if you're kind enough, give us a subscribe. You don't really have to. This content is for free. And for everybody else, especially those on YouTube, come over here on the Twitch if you want to catch any of these live when they're happening. And we'll be seeing you all later, you alligators. Bye-bye now.